Welcome to the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of October 11th, 2021. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
And Nicole Eridix.
Hi there.
Every week, we chat about the things parents are talking about, complaining about, and obsessing about right now. This week, we're complaining about things we should stop teaching kids and obsessing about evaluating schools. We also take a couple of breaks for an entertainment discussion and a recommendation roundup. Today, we're talking about homecoming. 'Tis the season. The school district parade will be passing by my front door. And, you know, it's the usual like dress up days during the week and the football game, the dance, yada, yada, yada. So, but that kind of got us wondering about why homecoming needs to be just for high school and college. You know, are there other things that your kid did that you wish there was a homecoming for? You know, would you like to go back and see some of those people again, or are you trying to block it out?
Over it. Terry, you go first.
There's a lot of my kids' schooling I'm trying to block out. There's a lot of people I hope to never see again. But it did make me think back to my kids' two earliest school experiences. My daughter's really, really wonderful preschool teacher, Miss Shirley, and speech therapist, Miss Elaine. And they had a little trailer out in back of the school that they had their preschool in. And it was just so warm and loving. It was my first experience of school for a kid. It was my daughter's first class after we had adopted her less than a year earlier. And I had not yet been scarred by years of special education battle. I still believed that people meant good things for my children. Aww. And I just would love to bring, we've seen Miss Shirley in a parking lot from time to time or at the grocery store, but I would love to bring my kids back to that little trailer and say, look at them. And this is where you started, because they don't remember anything. I remember it because it was like the last time I did not feel hated. But, and my son, when we first brought them home, went to an early intervention class that everybody was just very sweet. Again, it was like my first experience, and it was a good experience, and everybody was positive, and everybody seemed to want good things. And all the moms would sit in the waiting room while the kids had their therapy together. And sometimes we would go get donuts, and it was just a super pleasant experience. I would gladly go to a homecoming for either of those things. Let's have a dance with those people, shall we? Let's just go. Let's have a parade past the Wayne Early Intervention Facility. That'd be cool. I didn't know high school was fraught for both of them. And many times during the elementary school, I think probably they swept the dust of my footsteps out of the school building as I left. But those two places, those are the places, man. I'd like to go back there again. That was nice. Those are the days. Probably they talked behind my back too and hated me, but they didn't show it. They were very skillful. You're not saying, Mrs. Morrow, you have no idea what you are doing. That's totally wrong, but you don't have to say it.
Yeah, my kids' elementary school was a pretty good experience and kind of a unique place. And they had a lot of friends. I had a lot of friends. And one of the traditions, pretty recent tradition in our school district, has been that on the week of high school graduation, the high school students go back to their elementary school and they march around in their caps and gowns, and all the little kids get to see them and ooh and ah at them and cheer for them. And it's so sweet. And my daughter did not get to do it because of COVID. Aww. And it was so sad. It really, both of us really, really were looking forward to that and wanted to see it. And she didn't get to do it. So that would be a homecoming that she missed out on. And I'm really bummed. So
yeah, that's a wonderful tradition. I would love that. That'd be
it's
cool.
So sweet. I mean, you know, for the little kids, it's just like, look at these high schoolers, look how far they've come. And can you believe they used to be here?
That's very cool.
And, you know, they get to see the old teachers if they're still there, and, marvel at the tiny desks or whatever it is. So yeah, I would do that if I could. I certainly hope that in 2 years, when it's my son's turn, we will be able to do that kind of thing again.
So you just have one elementary school in your town?
Oh no, we have several, but the kids just go back to whichever school.
Whichever one they went to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My kids were in 2 different elementary schools, and I think one of them, actually they were in 3, due to changing of special ed programs and stuff. And the last one they wound up at, I would be happy to have them go back and parade through, but maybe not the first ones. Maybe not those.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the kids who didn't go to elementary school in our district just are out of luck. But like the parochial high school kids come too, and so no matter what high school you go to, you can come back. That's so nice. It's very sweet.
I bet the teachers love that.
Yeah, so that's what I would do, and yeah, I mean, my kids, I would say, had a good experience at their childcare center too. And we do see some of those kids still anyway, because a lot of them are, still in school together. But also things sometimes I think about, like my daughter's skating teams or my son's hockey teams from over the years. Sometimes you have some good friends that come out of that. So. Yeah. Some of them you're like, oh, well, that person didn't come back. Isn't that too bad? But you don't really mean it.
Right. How about you, Nicole?
I'm just trying to think of the different situations that my kids are in. Of course, I think their elementary schools definitely would be kind of neat to see where those kids are at. Although most of them just through Facebook, we've been able to keep track of, and that my kids kind of keep me up to date on what they're doing. Yeah, I'm thinking about their different activities that they were in, and there really isn't one that stands out in particular. I mean, my kids did a lot of solo sports too. Yeah, I mean, and the high school, I mean, that's just so recent for them, at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, and their preschools were not memorable. So yeah, I can't really think of any kind of an event. I mean, I know for myself, being a teacher, I would like to go back to some of my older schools and see, catch up on my students and see what they're doing, and kind of connect with the school again. Only a select few. Not all of them.
Your teacher homecoming to a select audience. I would like to see these students. Please gather them in the cafeteria. Don't tell anybody else.
Mrs. Erdix is here for 30 minutes. She would like to see the following students.
Right. And if you do not hear your name called, do not report to the cafeteria. You
can just parade very quickly through the building for the rest of them. Hi.
And there's no need for administration to show up either.
Oh, yes. That is the problem. Yeah. It's like there's some teachers I would like to see again, and some paraprofessionals I would like to see again, and some I most 100% certainly would not. And some administrators that, no. It's a lot of, it would be hard for me to get back to those schools because the bridges, they have been burned. So it would probably be best for me to just follow them quietly on Facebook. Sometimes people follow my kids on Facebook who are like administrators that I did not like. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you checking up on him?
Right.
I'm sure it's fine. Wow. Yeah. And then, of course, I would never go back to my high school. That would or 3 high schools that I was in, that would just never happen. So
is homecoming a thing in Canada?
No. I mean, maybe like there might be, a handful of private schools that do it, but it's not. But primarily because football isn't what it is here.
It's so connected to football, which
it really is.
Yeah. And most of the schools that I went to or my kids went to, we didn't even have a football team. Like, just didn't exist. there were hockey teams, there were football teams. So yeah, no, homecoming is a very American construct.
Yeah.
But it's fun. I mean, I enjoyed it when my kids went through it. I just don't have any history.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's interesting to think about at this time. Where maybe I'll just drive by some schools and peek in the windows. A little informal.
See if that trailer's still there.
That's right. It's sort of terrible when you think about it that they were in a trailer out in the back, but it was very nice. It meant they were removed from everything else. And it was just this little cocoon of loveliness. Or at least that's how I remember it. Don't tell me the truth.
Right.
Well, just seems like a good time to say that's it for today's round 1. Tune in tomorrow for our entertainment-themed round 2 and later in the week to find out what we're complaining about, obsessing about, and recommending right now. We're always interested in what you have to say, so drop us a comment on our website, our Facebook page, or Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.